Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Here I tell stories about guns from various games, films and TV series. In this video, we are going to talk about one of the coolest pistols in the entire history of Counter-Strike, called the Desert Eagle. We love it for how it looks, but also for its ability to kill with just one shot to the head. But having made a bunch of frags with this gun, we don't have a clue what it was designed for in real life or what it is used for. So if you want to know a number of interesting facts about the Desert Eagle, make sure to watch this video till the end. Speaking about the Desert Eagle, we need to bear in mind that it's not just another random pistol, but rather the most iconic gun appearing in a great number of action movies of the 90s as well as in video games. Why so? Well, just look at this gun and then look at yours, so to speak. This pistol is beloved by everyone because it's big, brutal, and just look at this design. It's awesome! He ended up in the hands of the toughest guys, both good and bad, because this pistol looks great in front of the camera. I would also say that the Desert Eagle is an important part of modern cinema, as it appears in more than 500 movies. So, if there is a gun that deserves to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, it is definitely the Desert Eagle. This pistol is so freaking popular that it appeared on the cover of Playboy magazine, but many of us became familiar with it through first-person shooters. Indeed, this weapon can be found in dozens, if not hundreds, of action games. Now let's dive into the weapon's history. Its first prototypes were designed back in 1979. At this time, it had been developed by a company called Magnum Research, but in 1982, Israel Military Industries took on its further modification. The last thing that comes to mind when looking at this pistol is that it was actually designed for hunting. Well, it seems that hunting down bears and boars with a rifle is not quite suitable for everyone. Some people preferred pistols. The only thing that they lacked was shooting power. That's when the idea of creating an unprecedented weapon came in. At that time, there were large caliber revolvers, but all of them had a significant disadvantage. They had only 6 rounds in their cylinder, and it took a decent amount of time to reload them. In its turn, the Desert Eagle remained powerful enough yet had up to 9 rounds in the magazine, depending on its caliber, not to mention a quicker reload. The Desert Eagle had several versions for different ammo, 357 Magnum, 44 Magnum, and so on. All of them are quite powerful, but the 50 caliber Action Express bullet is rightly considered to be the king. Compared to other bullets, these ones look just incredibly big. Each one of these weigh 20 grams. Simply because of their size, you cannot fit more than 7 of them in a magazine. And yes, in CSGO, we have exactly this version of the Desert Eagle which fires the 50 caliber. There is also an extended version with a 10-inch barrel, and it looks quite unusual to my mind. And now it's time to reveal the truth about the Desert Eagle from the earlier versions of Counter-Strike. The pistol did not always bear its actual name. For example, in Counter-Strike 1.6, there was some Nighthawk in the buy menu, but looking at its appearance, there is no question as to what it was really meant, and everyone knew perfectly well that it was the Desert Eagle. It wasn't the first time that the pistol was hiding behind other names, as some game developers didn't want to worry about acquiring copyrights and using them. For example, in an old game called The Soldier of Fortune, the gun was called the Silver Talon. So let's not strictly judge Counter-Strike 1.6, since it wasn't just there that had problems with naming. As for the pistol's application in real life, it became extremely popular thanks to its appearance in games and movies. After all, it was perhaps the biggest and baddest looking pistol, which suited a vast number of characters. The fact that led the Desert Eagle to gain such an amount of popularity was that it was the most powerful pistol in the world. Its maximum power is achieved with 50 caliber ammunition, and, for example, the muzzle energy can exceed 2000 joules, which is roughly 2 times higher than that of the AK-47. But still, this weapon was officially recognized as a pistol. Eventually, it became iconic in the USA, where an average citizen is allowed to own firearms. Of course, there were a bunch of people desiring to add this gun to their collection. The problem is that it actually costs much more than what we're used to seeing in the game. The 50 Action Express bullets version is going to cost you $1,750, which is a rather expensive toy for the average American. This is due to the highly complex manufacturing process behind this gun. First, pistol parts are manufactured on automatic machines almost without human intervention, and then this kit consisting of 81 parts goes to special assemblers who manually put all the parts together and carry out a final quality control. That's why the price of the pistol is so high. But there is another reason why you should not buy the Desert Eagle, and the point is that it is not that comfortable or practical to use. By the way, it weighs as much as 2 kilograms when fully loaded, which is roughly the weight of 3 Glocks. Holding this pistol at arm's length and shooting accurately would be a rather difficult task even for a trained person. Maybe you'll be okay with the first several shots, but then you will definitely notice the weight of this weapon. Its impracticality is the main reason why the Desert Eagle is not used by the army or police. The second aspect is that its power is playing a trick on it. If you shoot with the 50 Action Express bullets, you'll feel a lot of recoil, so you need to make long pauses between shots. Otherwise, while actively shooting, your barrel will wobble from side to side and bounce in random directions, preventing you from aiming properly. The Desert Eagle can be quite accurate, but only if you shoot slowly and take more time to aim between shots. All in all, in the case of a real and intense gunfight, it won't serve you well. So if we imagine that terrorists and counter-terrorists actually went on a serious assignment, they would not take this pistol, partly because of its horrific shot sound, which makes shooting literally painful for the ears. After the first couple of shots, you will go so deaf that you will not understand what is going on around you. That is why it is strongly recommended to wear special ear protection when shooting from this pistol, especially indoors. Furthermore, the Desert Eagle raises some doubts as a weapon of self-defense. It is actually unrealistic to carry such a thing in your pocket. It is impossible to put it in a handbag or hide it under your jacket, as it will stick out so that everyone will know that you have a gun. But those who buy this gun know exactly why they do this. First, because of the incredible charisma of this weapon, which gives extra brutality points to each person holding it in their hands. It means that eventually it became some sort of fancy accessory that people buy to look cooler. There is no doubt that the manufacturer knew perfectly well about its weapon's reputation, as the pistol is now available in various colors. It can be chromed, blackened, or even gold-plated, so we can safely assume that even the boldest skins in CSGO can really exist. At least this is the case for the Desert Eagle. Nevertheless, the Desert Eagle is not a mere accessory, but rather a solid and powerful weapon that throws a bullet with a speed of 580 meters per second, giving it an incredibly powerful kinetic force. You can easily shoot through a brick wall and get to the enemy, even if he hides behind the refrigerator. You may ask what would happen to a man if he gets shot with his head cannon. This piece of ballistic gel will give you the answer. It shows that the Desert Eagle can easily disable a couple of men with only one round. So if Counter-Strike developers strive for realism in their games, they would make the Desert Eagle capable of killing with a single bullet and smashing heads into pieces, despite the fact that everyone there wears bulletproof jackets. And how does the Desert Eagle manage to do that? Taking into account that not every sniper rifle punctures the body armor, this is also a complicated task for this pistol. But don't think you would remain unharmed in your armor vest. The kinetic energy will be enough to break your chest even without penetrating your armor. This is how a large caliber pistol originally designed for hunting became extremely popular among people all over the world, thanks to the efforts of Hollywood and the game industry. If you found these facts interesting about the Desert Eagle, make sure to support this video by pressing the thumbs up button. Subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss my future videos about other weapons. And by the way, what gun would you like me to make a video about? Please let me know in the comments.